can all do to build our resilience and to really support our overall health and well-being during these challenging times. And really, it's all about self-care. And so self-care is intentionally taking care of your well-being through restorative activities, routines, and rituals. And if you think about a 24-hour day, everything that we're doing within those 24 hours is either stressing the body or restoring the body. So self-care is essentially finding those moments throughout the day where we can do everything we can to nourish our body, mind, and spirit. And self-care is always important throughout life, but during these times right now, it's even more important. And so I ask you to ask yourself throughout your day, how are you caring for yourself right now? So it's a nice question to keep in the back of your mind. Okay, so we're going to start with how to instantly release anxiety. So this is at the most basic level of self-care. So when you find yourself in that moment of the grip of fear, or that fight or flight moment, and I know that many people around the world are feeling themselves in these moments a lot lately. And so there's some really useful techniques that can literally instantly release that feeling. And so the first thing you can do, and all of these are, they're with you, they're tools that you have with you 24 hours a day. They're always with you, they're always free. So the first thing you can do is to recognize that you're having an anxious moment and slow down your breath. And the only thing you have to remember here is that your exhale is longer than your inhale. So you just start focusing on inhaling through your nose, maybe for a count of 3, and then a slow exhale, maybe for a count of 6. So just doing that, even for a minute or 3 minutes, just doing that instantly signals to your body that it's okay, and your body literally starts calming itself down. So on a very real level, and then your brain will start realizing that too. And the other thing that's very powerful that you can do while you're focusing on your breath is while you're imagining or focusing on breathing in, imagine that you're slowly breathing in healing protection energy. There's energy around us at all times. And there is healing protection energy out there. And so imagine you are breathing it in. And as you breathe it in, it's literally going into every cell of your body, this protection. And then as you're exhaling on your slow exhale, you're slowly exhaling all that worry energy and all that anxiety. That anxiety is literally leaving your body through your breath. And then you inhale more healing protection energy. So that's also something that has worked very, very efficiently for many people. And then the other thing, which is very useful, is you can do this while you're focusing on your breath or on its own, is when you find yourself in the grip of fear, you just simply place your hand over your heart. And this instantly calms your body and your mind. It's as if you're giving yourself some love and you're telling yourself, I'm okay. You're actually giving yourself the human touch. And so if you combine this with slowing your breath, it makes it even more powerful. And then another thing, which is also quite useful, this comes from energy medicine, is tapping the back of your hand. And so it's right on the back of your hand, between your wrist and your knuckles, in between your 4th and 5th finger. So in between your ring finger and your pinky finger. And then you just start tapping right there. And you tap for about a minute. And this also instantly activates your parasympathetic nervous system, which is that rest and digest nervous system. It's the exact opposite from your fight or flight nervous system. And so it instantly takes you out of fight and flight and brings you into the rest and digest, calming. It calms your body. And then after a minute, if you're still feeling a little anxious, then you can switch and move over to the other hand. And then another useful tip is once you've done, you know, 1, 2, or 3 of the ones we just discussed, is asking yourself 4 questions about that worried thought that you just had. So these questions come from the work of Byron Katie. She wrote a book, Loving What Is, and here's the picture of the book. And the first question is to ask yourself, and you may even want to write this down, you know, on a piece of paper or a journal, is this thought true? So just ask yourself. We often have a worried thought and our brains go to worst case scenario, but worst case scenario often doesn't happen. So the first question, is this thought true? Question number 2, can I absolutely know it's true? Like 100%, am I 100% sure it's true? Question number 3, what happens when you believe the thought? So how do you react? How does your body react? When you believe that fearful thought, does your heart start racing? You know, do you feel tense in your shoulders? You know, what's going on in your body when you're believing that thought? Just becoming aware of that. And then number 4, who would I be without this thought? So imagine that you don't have the thought. Who would you be without it? Would you be calmer? What would you be doing right now if you weren't worrying about the thought? So those are 4 also questions that many people find very useful to help them get out of that the grip of fear. Next slide, please. Okay, so immediately after having that anxious moment, so hopefully you've calmed yourself down just a bit or more than a bit. So the next suggestion is to shift your focus now on things that you're grateful for. So now you're no longer focused on that fearful thought. Instead, what is something else you can think about? So maybe you're grateful for the safe home that you have. You're grateful for you know, the warm water, the warm shower that you're able to take. You're grateful for your family. You're grateful for, you know, the healthy, delicious food that you have to eat, or you're grateful for, you know, the book, your favorite book that you're reading. So anything, you could go on and on and on about what you're grateful for, but just focusing on that. And then next is to actually do something now. So do something that brings you joy. You're basically recovering from a fearful moment. So bring joy into your life now. You've earned it. So maybe that's having a cup of hot chocolate and maybe turning on, you know, your favorite song or some relaxing music. And maybe it's, you know, reading a book and sitting in your favorite chair, or watching a heartwarming movie, watching something that brings you joy. Anything that brings you joy, you know, even if you just spend 5 minutes doing it, it's gonna change your emotional state very much. And then the next thing is to practice acts of kindness. So anytime that we do anything for another person, it could be a simple smile at someone that you're living with. You know, you pass them in the hallway and you just give them a smile. That's an act of kindness. And anytime we give an act of kindness to another person, not only does the recipient benefit, but the giver of the act of kindness benefits even more. So you release oxytocin. The recipient's oxytocin goes up, which is the feel-good hormone. But the giver of the act of kindness, their oxytocin surges even more. So whenever we can be kind to another person is really helping us feel good, and it's helping our immune system, and it's helping us be healthy. And then other examples of acts of kindness: call a friend, maybe someone you haven't talked to in a while, just check in with them, call them and say, how are you doing? How are you getting through all this? Connect with loved ones in your home, and, you know, laugh with them, share some jokes. I know there's lots of really clever, interesting, humorous things going around the internet right now. So, you know, watch some of that, laugh with them, play board games, share that you appreciate them. And when you share joy with another person, you're not only boosting your immune system, but you're boosting theirs as well. Next slide, please. Okay, so moving on to everyone's forced stay at home. So one of my favorite quotes is by Dr. Wayne Dyer, and he says, if you change the way you look at things, the things you look at change. And so if we think about, you know, this forced stay at home, shelter in place that, you know, many of us around the world are, it's our new reality right now. If you think of it as a beautiful gift, so it's literally a gift, and it's keeping everyone safe. So with the, you know, the utmost respect and gratitude to all the people that are going out into the world and they're still working there, you know, the healthcare providers, the grocery store, you know, everyone who works at the grocery stores, the pharmacists, the delivery people, like all of those people, we're so grateful that they're going out to help our lives continue and to keep us healthy and safe. But for those of us who can stay home, it's a gift for ourselves that we can stay in our home. And it's also a gift because we're helping not spread the virus. So that's another perspective to look at it. And then there's a lot of talk about social distancing. And I encourage everyone to think about it as physical distancing, but still socially connecting, and maybe socially connecting even more than ever. So physically we can't be with other people, but this is a time to really spend quality time, you know, on the phone or, you know, over social media, really connecting. We have the extra time now to really connect with those that we care about and catch up with friends we haven't spoken to in a while. And then instead of the term self-isolation or home isolation, I invite you to embrace this as you would, as if you were attending a rejuvenating wellness retreat. So lots of people go on vacations for, you know, silent retreats, or, you know, retreats to really spend time reflecting on being fully present with yourself, and then also spending time reflecting on how you can be fully present and engaged with others, with those in your home, and, you know, with those that you connect with on the phone, even though you're not physically with them. So I encourage you to imagine like you're in a sanctuary retreat. And another way to help make your home sanctuary more comfortable is to create a hygge at home. So hygge is a Danish word, and it means creating comfort and joy in your everyday environment and experiences. So it's everything about creating coziness and warmth and comfort in your home, for one. So for example, maybe you're sitting on your couch and you have your, you know, a blanket wrapped around you, and you know, you have your, you know, your cup of coffee or your cup of tea, and maybe you have a candle lit, maybe you have a diffuser with essential oils. So you're making your environment very cozy and comfortable. And then to bring in the experience part, hygge also is spending quality time with those people that we care about the most. So it's really about, you know, small intimate gatherings and spending quality time together. And so I invite you to create those moments with the people in your household that you are maybe living with, or you can even do it on the phone or through Zoom. You can create hygge moments with people that you're close to that are living somewhere else. You could you know, connect, and you can both be having a hygge moment together. And the other one other great opportunity we are all blessed with right now is, with this extra time, is to focus on self-improvement. And a very interesting study that came out of Britain recently they interviewed, or they surveyed 2,000 people in Britain, and 60% of them said that they are using this extra time while they're staying at home to focus on self-improvement. And some examples they mentioned where they wanted to, many of them are taking online classes to learn new skills. They're learning new languages. They're learning how to become a master chef. They're taking virtual museum tours. There's lots of tours around the world are opening up their tours virtually. And they're learning how to sew, they're learning how to knit. I mean, it's just endless, anything that interests you. And some of the places that you can go online are Skillshare or Open Culture, Masterclass, and there's so many others as well. So it's a great opportunity for that as well. Next slide, please. So sleep and rest is also one of the most important things we can do in general, but especially right now. So rest is really crucial, and some deep quality sleep is really crucial for helping our stress resilience and for keeping our immune system strong. And one of the most powerful ways we can do this is daylight. So seeing the daylight is really the secret to setting your circadian rhythm. And when we set our circadian rhythm, we're able to sleep when it's dark out at night and get deep restorative sleep. And that's really the key as well to getting into deep sleep, which rejuvenates when we're sleeping. We're every cell in our body is rejuvenating and healing and keeping itself healthy. And so one recommendation I like to share is getting exposure to the morning sun. And I know a lot of us can't go outside right now. So I invite you to maybe find a window in your home where the sun pours in, and sitting in front of that window. I know in my house, I have a little nook in a hallway, and I never thought of putting a chair there ever. And now I've noticed the sun pours in that little nook. And so now I have a chair there. And so I can get some morning sun. I can sit with my coffee cup, and it's almost like I'm outside. And then other ways to regulate your circadian rhythm is, if possible, to eat a lighter meal in the evening. And that way your body is finished digesting food before it is ready to sleep for the evening. And of course, avoiding caffeine or alcohol in the evening, which could also interrupt sleep. And then keeping a schedule, waking up and going to sleep the same time every day also really helps you get the best restorative sleep if your body is used to going to bed and waking up every day at the same time. And exercising every day. So again, I know we can't go outside, but you know, at-home videos, cardio, stretching, walking up and down the stairs in your home if you have them. We can get really creative with that. And also there's been a lot of research out of the blue zones, which are the 5 different zones across the world where they have the highest concentration of centenarians who are thriving in their life. And some really interesting research that came out of that is that just moving your body, they don't go to gyms, they don't, you know, work out every day, but their bodies are constantly in motion, whether they're cooking, they're gardening, they're doing laundry, they're always doing something. And so they're always moving your body. So even just keeping that in mind so that you're just not sitting all day while you're at home. And then the other thing really important for restorative sleep is to have do whatever we can throughout the day to calm our stress levels. I know we just discussed a few techniques. So if we can calm our stress levels, maybe through one important one, I think, would be minimizing the current news media, which is, you know, full of scary stuff right now. And so, you know, I've done this personally for myself. I've cut way back on how many times I check the news during the day. And I have found that it has, you know, it really does have an effect to calm the body down. And then also deep breathing, maybe some meditation as well. Next slide, please. Okay, so here is a suggestion is to turn your bedroom into a sleep sanctuary. And it's very easy to do. So here's some suggestions on this chart here that comes from the Institute of Functional Medicine. The body sleeps best when it's in a little bit of a cooler environment. So maybe turning down your heater in the evening, having a dark environment. So, maybe if there's street lights, if you live in a city that come in, maybe sleeping with a sleep mask, or if that's possible. Having a quiet environment, maybe sleeping with earplugs if you need to. Of course, not looking at blue screens at least an hour or two before bed. No computers, cell phones, TVs. That will really help your sleep. Maybe taking a bath before bed, or having a nice cup of chamomile tea. Anything that can really calm your body and help it feel peaceful. Having doing whatever you can to make your bed comfortable. So, clean linens, comfortable, cozy blankets. Making sure that your bedroom is clean and clutter-free. So this is a great opportunity to clean the clutter out of your bedroom, so that you can really have peaceful sleep. So I invite you to try some of these as well. Next slide, please. Okay, so rituals and routines. So routines and rituals really do bring a calming structure to our day. And they do make us happier. They make us feel more in control of our day, make us feel more productive, et cetera, et cetera. So I invite you, while everyone's schedule has shifted with our, staying at home, I invite you to still try to keep your routine or create a new routine as much as possible. So, waking up at the same time every day, making your bed, taking a shower, doing whatever you do throughout your day, working in, the same hours that you would normally work, etc., having dinner at the same time, all of that. Like keep a routine as much as you can. And I invite you to add some rituals into your day. So rituals really help bring calming energy and peace and self-care into our day as well. So for example, in the morning, maybe start with, some warm lemon water, which is so soothing for the body. Maybe a little meditation or some light movement or stretching in the morning, or, saying some positive affirmations or intentions for your day, how you visualize your day to unfold. Midday, maybe setting an alarm on your phone, at 3 o'clock every day, you're going to have a cup of tea and you're going to focus on your breath, or maybe you're going to take a short nap. And then for evening, again, what rituals can you incorporate into your evening to really wind your body down and prepare for sleep? So maybe that's a warm bath before bed, or reading a book, not on a screen, but a physical book. Maybe some lavender oil in a diffuser if you have one, or reflecting in your journal, things like that. It's beautiful to have rituals in our days. Next slide, please. Okay, so one thing I wanted to acknowledge also is, while we talk about routines and introducing rituals, we also have to remember and be mindful of the fact that we are all human, and we're all going through this a pandemic that none of us have experienced anything like this before. So it's okay if something on your routine doesn't happen, or if something on your ritual doesn't happen. It's okay. So just knowing that, and then just start trying again tomorrow. So I saw this, I guess it's like a quote on Instagram. It was posted on Yoga Journal, and I just felt like it was such a wise thing to remember, to forgive yourself if your day doesn't go exactly as you planned. You forgive yourself for what didn't happen that day, for the emails you didn't respond to, the deadlines you didn't make, you know, forgive yourself for all that and just try again tomorrow. And the last one here is, I forgive myself for being human during a pandemic. So just, I guess the biggest takeaway here is treat yourself with kindness always. Treat yourself with compassion, especially in a moment that you feel like you may have let yourself down. Treat yourself with the utmost compassion, forgive yourself, and just move on. This is the closing slide, and I would like to invite you all to join me in a very short loving kindness meditation. And this is a meditation that I invite you to maybe say when you wake up in the morning, or maybe say it, you know, in the middle of your day, anytime you're feeling anxious, or or when you go to sleep at night. Maybe it's the last thing you say before you fall asleep. And also, it's a wonderful opportunity to say anytime you're washing your hands for 20 to 30 seconds. If you say this loving kindness meditation 2 or 3 times while you're washing your hands as well. So I invite you all to close your eyes if you feel comfortable, and we'll just take a few slow, deep breaths. So a slow inhale, maybe for 4 seconds. And then a slow exhale for 7. Now another slow inhale. And gently exhale slowly. And one more. Slowly inhale. And a longer exhale. And I invite you to also place your hand over your heart if that feels right for you. And now say to yourself, either silently or out loud, may I be well.
May I be well.
May I be happy.
May I be happy.
May I be healthy.
Be healthy.
May I be filled with loving kindness.
Be full of it.
And now think of someone who is very dear to you in your life. Think of that person. And now send them loving kindness. You can say their name when you're saying this. May this dear person in my life be well. May this dear person in my life be happy. May this dear person in my life be healthy. May this dear person in my life be filled with loving kindness. And now we'll send loving kindness to all beings, anyone who may be going through a challenging time right now. May all beings be well. May all beings be healthy. May all beings be happy.